Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Doomtombpodcast, the podcast for all things stoner, doom, and sludge. And today, we have another top 5 with Nick from the band Stonecutters and the band Warcloud. Check it out right now. We did a long interview with Nick from Warcloud and Stonecutters just a little bit ago, but now we're going to do the top 5 with Nick. Nick.
Dun 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 dun.
All right, dude. So, I never know beforehand. So, what is your top 5?
Top 5 favorite guitar players.
Okay. What is the first one?
Marty Friedman.
All right. So we're going Megadeth, and maybe what's one of the favorite solos that he has?
Oh my God, it's Tornado of Souls, dude.
Really?
Tornado of Souls is just like the classic. It's beautiful. It has shred parts in it. The song's well written. It's just incredible. Like the key changes in it, it's like smart thrash music, and I just remember listening to it as a kid and really buying it, because it was just like mean and angry. Right. Looking back on it, it's cheesy. There's like, what's the line? It's the kiss of death. Like stuff like that's like super cheesy, but fuck, man, that the music stays true. The stuff he implements in the song, it's never been wrong. Like it's just such smart guitar playing, man. Like incredible guitar playing. But yeah, that's like definitely it's probably my favorite Megadeth solo. There's a lot of them, but that's one of them. Yeah,
I know. It's as soon as I hear Megadeth, I go first and second album 9 times out of 10 with the exception of one song.
Okay, what's that one song?
Holy Wars. Come on.
Oh yeah, like the back and forth thing.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, the production's really weird because it's like super pristine, like cool, like metal album, and a little bit different than like The Conjuring, like that song, like off the early Megadeth stuff. Right. Conjuring's just incredible. Conjuring's just like holy shit. But that was like the gateway, like Holy Wars and all that stuff was like gateway, and hearing Tornado of Souls was like the cool fret harmonic thing he does at the beginning, which is Dave, and then like Marty's solo is just like wow, like I didn't know you can make a guitar talk like that kind of thing, Have
you ever seen him live?
I have seen Megadeth live. My last Megadeth experience, I was on mushrooms and I saw them and it was so fucking insane, dude. I was just like, hell yeah. It was Megadeth and High on Fire. It was like it was on a Gigantour tour. Must have been like almost 15 years ago.
At least.
Yeah, it was High on Fire, In Flames, and Megadeth. Wow. And I think Job for a Cowboy opened. And it was just man, I had such a fun time. Like it was fucking so sick. And Chris Broderick was the guitar player at the time. Okay. And he still slammed it, did all his like little variations on like the P-Cells licks, like the Chris Paulin stuff, and right. It was awesome, man. And I was like tripping, watching him playing like Holy Wars and stuff. I'm like, this is nonstop. I actually have a buddy that's blind, and I love going to shows with him because his criticisms are a little different, and his favorite live band is Megadeth because of how tight they are. I'm just like, dude, I totally feel that. But it's cool to hear like a blind person say that because their senses are heightened because they don't have sight. So
exactly,
like, dude, he's just like, I love Megadeth, and I'm like, if you watch them, like if you see them live, they kind of just stand there and headbang the whole time. But if you close your eyes, hell yeah, like they're perfect, dude. It's so cool.
Sounds. Yeah, it's extremely technical, and I had this. We did this thing about a month or so, or 2 months ago now, and we were at a show, and there were a couple of guys that were deaf, and with
whoa.
like heavy stoner doom music, they got so much low end, and they're just like, wow, is every band like this? I'm like, well, I mean, in the genre, yeah, but
Yeah.
So it's
like
just,
seeing
it was
like
just
a Sun concert or something like that, and you're just like, oh shit, like
1,000%, 1,000%.
Yeah. I could see that for a deaf person. Like if they saw like Sun, they would be like, this is so sick, because it's like a sensory concert, like you just like feel it sort of thing.
Completely.
That's cool as shit. That's cool.
All right, now.
But yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah. Number 2 is Jake E. Lee. His playing on Bark of the Moon is like kind of just a gateway album. And
Right.
then the ultimate sin, the other one he played on, is just like, holy shit. Like he wrote all the music for it, and supposedly the way that went down is he wrote all the music. I don't know if he wrote the lyrics, but he like composed everything. And then after it was all said and done, Sharon was like, all right, sign this over saying Ozzy did all of it. This is kind of like what I've heard through the years.
Wow.
And he like kind of forfeited his rights to anything for the Ultimate Sin. I think he did the same bit with Bark of the Moon. I could be totally wrong, so maybe you listener at home, correct me if I'm totally wrong. But Jakey Lee he killed it, man. I thought he was so cool. Like he would play with like fingerless gloves and like do a spin kick and then like solo. And his solos weren't like CC DeVille solos.
Right.
Like they were like mind melting fucking cool shit. And he looked like he wasn't even sweating it too. So he's definitely an unsung guitar hero that I think a lot of guitar nerds worship because of what he did with like chord inversions, all this stuff, like Shot in the Dark. Like that song is just like, it's a beautiful song, and he wrote all that. I don't know if he wrote the lyrics, but yeah, that was definitely Jakey Lee just fucking slamming it, dude. Love Jakey Lee.
Okay, so let's go off the Ultimate Sin.
Yeah.
What track is your fave?
Secret Loser.
Really?
Yeah, I love that song.
Oh,
Bring Back the Bomb is really good too.
Oh, wait. Thank God for the Bomb.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, Bring Back the Bomb is Gore, but Thank God for the Bomb is Ozzy. Yeah.
That's funny. I'm gonna go with it. Never Know Why. And Lightning Strikes.
Oh, Never Know Why is awesome. That's the one that's like, we rock. Yeah, that one's.
And like you were saying before, it's strictly because of the sheer cheese factor of We Rock.
Yeah, because it's like Ozzy, like peak Golden Girls era hair. And
Yeah.
The album art, fuck, I can't remember who did that, but that was so badass. It was like Captain Beyond on acid, like bad acid trip kind of shit, and it was so sick. But yeah, I love that stuff. What's another good one off there? Thank God for the Bomb's awesome. Secret Loser. The opening track, Ultimate Sin, is the opening track.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's the ultimate. That's the opener.
Yeah, that one's like it's like the cool drop D riff. But yeah, man, that was like such a weird foreign guitar playing thing to me, and it was under the veil of like a hair metal record. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, hair metal's stupid. And then I tried to learn that stuff. I was like, I can't fucking play that.
Nice. Yeah.
So
it was the time,
Yeah, it was definitely like a weird time period for heavy metal. And so when you hear the shredding happen, like it's like, I don't know if this is cool or not, because this is like under the guise of like a cheesy hair metal record.
Right.
So that was like, I think that's why it kind of got like a weird if to it. And also it wasn't like Randy Rhoads. Like he was like he got a lot of shit for it. And he was the guy after Brad Gillis, because like Brad Gillis replaced Randy. So it was like a really interesting time in like Ozzy's career. So I don't know, man. It's super fascinating to me. I fucking love the Ultimate Sin though. That's a jammer.
You know what? It's funny, as you're talking about it, you just reminded me. So I want to do an interview with David Paul Seymour.
Yeah, dude. He's awesome. He's I don't think he's done anything for War Cloud, but he's done a lot of stuff for all my buddies' bands, like Blind Scryer. They're a great doom rock band from Louisville. Blind Scryer. They fucking rock, dude. He did their cover for their first record. I love those guys. They're a bunch of Kentucky dudes. But he's done a lot of stuff. Yeah. But Ultimate Sin, David Paul Seymour connection. What's up?
Well, yeah, the connection with Boris Vallejo, I think it is. I think that's the guy, because that looks like his work. I think that's his.
Okay, cool.
Just going back to the illustration. All right, so what is number 3?
Ooh, number 3, probably. Oh, that's tough. Mark Knopfler. I have to give it up for Mark Knopfler, man.
Okay, Dire Straits.
Yeah, dude, he just kills it. I love his songwriting and how cool he is, and how he's just kind of like a weird nerd guy that was like a rock star.
Right.
And he would play with his fingers. Like he would play like rock music with a Telecaster with his fingers. And so like you would hear all these like Sultans of Swing, like that tune. Like when you hear that, you immediately know it's Mark Knopfler playing.
Absolutely.
And I remember listening to that as a kid and just being like, what the fuck is this? Because I would try to look up tabs, and they would be like, well, it's a D minor chord, but it's not really a D minor chord. He just kind of plays it with his fingers. And he was just kind of his own thing. And he did whatever he wanted. And he did it without like being like forcing it on someone, being like, listen, look how cool I am for going against the grain. He just kind of did it, and people caught on to it. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. I love Mark Knopfler. Through all the cheesy stuff he did and through all the hard rock stuff he did, incredible. And like the fingerstyle thing blows my mind, because he would play like Live Aid and he would just be like, what's up? And just have like his Telecaster and his fingers and like a headband on.
Yeah, that headband. Yeah, you can't forget that. And also, every time I hear them, I heard classic rock radio with Sultans of Swing and stuff. But that Money for Nothing, that's just pure MTV right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the whole like Sting Mark Knopfler thing.
Absolutely.
So great. Yeah.
All right.
He's a shredder, man.
So we got Friedman, we've got Jakey Lee, we got Mark Knopfler.
Yeah. We got 3 for 3.
Who is number 4?
Alex Skolnick, for sure, man.
Skolnick. Now, we discussed that earlier before on another podcast. And so what is it about Alex's playing that you really like?
Oh, man. It's his versatility, where he could play jazz music and actually pull it off and sound like a real jazz guitar player, as opposed to like Jimmy Page playing jazz or something like that. That and his attention to detail with solos, like where it's like, whether it's like harmonic tapping, like Souls of Black solo. Like I love the Souls of Black solo. It's just like, it's not overdone or he's just like jerking off while he's playing. It's just like, damn, that's like sexy guitar playing.
Very tasteful.
Yeah, it's super tasteful. He's fun to watch when you watch him play live. He just like shreds. He never even looks at his guitar. It's just fucking insane, man. I love his playing. Apocalyptic City, that solo is amazing. Yeah, and he hasn't stopped working. He actually played for Ozzy too. He played for Ozzy for like 1 or 2 shows, and
really?
Yeah. There's that Wikipedia Fact or Fiction thing about him, man. It's so funny to watch, because he played like 2 shows with Ozzy, and then they were like trying to give him pointers on like how to play, and they were like, you should play with your guitar lower to the ground, like kind of stuff like that. And he was just like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And he just did his own thing. He even talks about leaving Testament for a little bit, how he's like, oh yeah, I was all about melody and they kind of want to go a different direction. And it's just amazing to see how he has the confidence and the determination with his music to like move beyond like Testament or Ozzy or whatever, or playing a jazz band. Like, it's weird I've played like clubs in West Virginia that his, like his, like, not to say like West Virginia is like bad or something like that. Like, West Virginia rules. but like I'll play a club where I'm like, oh, Alex Skolnick trio played here last night. Like he just plays all the time. He's stupid smart, man. Like I love him, and he has a great work ethic, and he's an incredible player.
There you go. That Alex Skolnick fan all the way. But we've got one more. Who is number 5?
Dude, it's definitely Steve Vai. Like I know that's like that's a no-brainer, but Steve Vai, definitely during the David Lee Roth era, is just so cool, man. Like my favorite Steve Vai, David Lee Roth era song is "Ladies' Night in Buffalo" off the Eat 'Em and Smile record.
Sure.
And it's just so smooth because it's like a jazz song, like, you know, it's kind of a groovy jazz song, and then the solo section starts in D minor, and then it moves up a half step to, or it's a D minor 7, moves up a half step to E flat major 7, and I know like probably everyone turned off their phone now.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just fucking with
Wait, can you say it again? Wait, what'd you say?
Let me tell you something. People that listen to the podcast, they love. From what I have gotten from reviews from people, they love it when people talk tech, man. So please, go right ahead.
Cool. Okay, so like that whole section of the song is just like, wow. Like it blew my mind because you can move a half step on the instrument and create a whole nother story, and it's still within the confines of a song. It's just incredible songwriting. Watching that era of Steve Vai, oh dude, it's just so sick. And you can even like tie that into like his time in Whitesnake.
Right.
Yeah, incredible. So like I'm already missing like other guitar players on my list because of when I mentioned Whitesnake. You could talk about John Sykes or Doug Ulrich or like those guys are like, holy shit, like so good. But the legacy of Whitesnake is like, it's just incredible. Like if you play in that band, you are certified badass. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening in that one. Yeah, for sure, man.
Now, did you listen? Do you listen to his solo stuff? Did you listen to Flexible?
Oh yeah. I totally like, or Alien Love Songs and Eyes to the Soul, or like all that kind of stuff, or like even the Joe Satriani thing. Yeah, I totally listened to that. And that was like my first take on it. And then I was like, I started getting to rock bands, and I was like, okay, if I just do these like 3-chord vamps and I just like, you know, shred over them, it's not really going to get an audience. So I started to look at like Whitesnake or like the David Lee Roth stuff, and I was like, dude, these songs are so sick, and there's cool like passages with inside them that are like really good guitar playing. So it kind of opened my eyes a little bit. The playing was there on like Flexible and everything,
right?
But it really brought it home when I started to see like in a band context. So I like both, but as the years have gone by, I'm really into the band context thing. Not to say that like Flexible and stuff is like mind melting guitar music,
right?
But it was like, it's like the kid in like math class where you're like, when am I going to use this in the real world? Like that kind of thing. Like
I got you.
That's where I draw the line with it. Don't get me wrong. Like I still like, you know, play like Surfing with the Alien all the time and stuff like that, like to warm up and like try to keep it together, you know?
You know, and this brings me to something important, and I'm so glad. Thank you, by the way, for giving me your top 5. And this brings me to something for the time that we're in right now with everything that we're going through. And I honestly did not know that you were going to pick guitarists for a top 5.
Sorry.
No. This is actually perfect because the next question I wanted to ask you was, I saw on social media that you are doing lessons on Skype.
Yes. Yeah. I'm
now,
totally doing lessons on Skype.
How can somebody reach out to you to do that?
Okay. Perfect, man. Perfect time to plug this. I am totally teaching lessons on Skype. So anyone listening to the Doom Tomb podcast or anything, please reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at Nick Stonecutters. You can send me a DM through that. You can send me something through Facebook. My name is Nicholas Burks on Facebook. You can also find me. You can send me just send me like a private message for that stuff, and I would totally love to teach you. During quarantine, I've taught a couple, and it's been pretty fun. Yeah, it's been pretty normal because I see a lot of like crazy good players teach stuff like that to like fans all over the world. So kind of like it works. The internet's there. I would love to teach anybody that's listening right now. We can totally do that. Love to set it up.
I'll definitely put some links in the show notes. And the last question, the last, I guess 7-inch or whatever that I picked up from you guys, from Stonecutters, that is, was The Living Dead. Just quickly, because I got you here right now. What can you tell me about those two tracks? What can you tell me about The Living Dead and Outside the Presence of God?
Oh man, that's awesome. Those two songs are kind of like a peek into what's going to happen with the next Stonecutters record, where Carved in Time, the last LP, was kind of like it was like a weird death worship, multi-genre mashing thing. Right. And we kind of figured out what we loved, and that was kind of more of the extreme death worship thing. And the Living Dead EP kind of, is an example of that. And the Living Dead, the title track off that is an homage to Return of the Living Dead, which was kind of based in Louisville, Kentucky, where that band is based out of. Right. Where all the zombies take over, they come out of the cemetery and they blow up the mall and all that stuff. That's like the first movie where zombies talk. They actually say brains and everything like that. So we were just like, oh yeah, that's cool. Let's make a song out of it. Outside the Presence of God was based off a friend my best friend I had. He passed away, and the last thing we ever talked about was just a really mean song title. And I was like, what about Outside the Presence of God? And then we just started talking back to each other in an Orson Welles kind of voice, like, outside the presence of God. And like, we just we just thought it was so funny, over the top. I was like, I have to use that for something. And it was kind of a tribute to that person who passed away. So which is kind of morbid, because like, you pass away, you should be closer to God. So there's kind of like the irony of it, and like, all that kind of emotional stuff. Sure. So, I think it pulls on the heartstrings, and it's a pretty personal, close issue to me. But that was a pretty cool thing. But yeah, that was the last thing we put out, and we're sitting on another record right now, hopefully to release next year. We're still kind of going through everything right now and like going over everything, make sure it's cool. But there's an LP in 2018, an EP in 2019, which is The Living Dead. And then this year we toured off of it, and then it got stopped because of COVID-19. Right. And then we're just going to try to put out a record next year. But that EP kind of means a lot to me, just because of Living Dead is a tribute to the city we live in, where we grew up, where we learned how to play guitar. And Outside the Presence of God is a tribute to my best friend. So yeah, there's a lot of emotions with that, and it's kind of a personal thing. So and it's really satisfying we play those songs every night, and it feels really great to play those songs, man. And on the cover, you're the one way back by the fence, right? Yeah, I'm the one with the extremely big forehead, and the back lurking over everyone. But missing an arm, but I guess that's part of the problem. Yeah, that was done by Jeff Gaither. He's done stuff for the Accused. He's done stuff for Municipal Waste. He has the cool piece in the Museum of Death in New Orleans. Jeff Gaither, he's a legend, man. I love that guy. He has like a lot of like Wayne Gacy serial killer memorabilia. Really? Yeah. He wrote letters to Gacy. He's a really cool dude, man. He's like Louisville, Kentucky, Southern Indiana guy. He's kind of an OG legend with like horror and everything like that. He's been doing it a very long time, and he's a great friend of the band. But that artwork's kind of like extreme, kind of graphic 80s looking thing. And Jeff has been a friend of the band forever, and we wanted to have him do some sort of album cover for a long time. And we wrote a song about, zombies or the undead. So we figured that would be his thing, because he is just the king of that stuff.
It's perfect. And I mean, the cover, it's a great cover, period. But also the vinyl looks great. It's a beautiful splatter color. If you haven't checked it out, I'll put a link in the show notes. Go pick this up, man. Go check out Stonecutters. Also, if you listened to the previous episode, go check out War Cloud. You won't be disappointed. And Nick, again, thank you so much. I can't wait to have you on again for some brand new releases and to finally see people live at a fucking show.
Yeah, no shit, man. No kidding.
All right, dude. Shit. I thank you so much. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.
Chris, Doom Tomb, you guys rule.
Later.
Later.
Brother.
See ya.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right, take care, Chris.
Thank you so much for listening. doomtombpodcast at gmail.com is how to reach us. doomtombpodcast on all forms of social media. We got a couple more episodes coming up. The next episode will be with the band Dear Lord, Deerlord. It got a little strange. I was just coming home from work. I was all frantic, and I was late for their interview, and I don't know. It sounded a little weird. I sound a little crazy. I feel like, I sounded like Chris Farley when he was interviewing people. I guess if you know the bit, you know the bit. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Take care, and don't forget to stay heavy.